everyone, it's Jean. So I did a video just a little bit ago about using unconventional items in our junk journals. And this is actually going to be a junk journal cover. I am not sure what else I'm going to put on it at this point. It may just be finished and simple like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add pages to it with you so that you can see how we can do some really grungy, off the top kind of work with this this cover. So that was what I started with. Oh, and before I get started, so I wanted to talk about this ring for a second. I got this in some jewelry. I cannot find a marking on it. Of course, it's a metal. I don't think it's tarnished. I think it's meant to be this color, like a vintage gold. And of course, it's had a ring soldered on it. But it's a mirror. And I thought it was kind of unusual. You can actually see yourself in it. It's a very good mirror. But what I was curious about it is if any of you knew what this might be. It may just be a makeup mirror, but it was evidently made to withstand some wear and tear and be on somebody's finger. Maybe a teenager in the 70s, I don't know. But if anybody knows anything about this, let me know in the comments. I was searching for it on eBay and I really couldn't find anything. Maybe I was using the wrong term because I don't know what it is. But it has this nice setting. The mirror is beveled on the sides. It's very pretty. And it's a very interesting piece. So if you know anything, let me know, please. So what I've started out with today for just letting you know how your slow stitch projects can evolve is and keep in mind, I'm not in any way, shape, or form the person who came up with slow stitching or what they call gentle work. I know people do it, and lately I've found it very calming, so I've been doing it too. What I wanted to mention to you, though, trying to see where I stuck my needle. I'm always losing them. Perhaps I should put it in the pincushion and then I wouldn't lose it. So what I started out with was a piece of denim. Now this dang denim, I cannot get this side to lay flat for some reason, but I'm sure as I work with it, it'll work out. But I don't want to start just on a dark piece of denim. I want to add some layers. So I want to add some of this lace from the lace doilies that I have. I'm going to tear that so it looks like it's had a good life. This is kind of like a linen. I'm not sure what it's called, but I'm going to layer that on top. And then this is where once you get your base, you can pick out the items that you want to use in your project. Now, the unconventional things that I have, this is some type of pod. So I think I'll be using that as my color and my idea for this. Sometimes it's good to look at all that you have and pick out a color scheme, because then you know that if you stick within that color scheme, that it's going to look pretty good. Now, I'm not sure if this is pretty hard. I'm not sure what it is, but it won't, I don't think I can sew through it. So I'll have to sew around the stem and see if I can get it on that way. I am not using any glue in this project, so everything will be hand sewn. So that's what I want to use as my palette. This color, this tan, even the white is not really exactly what I wanted, but I think that it makes a nice way to kind of mask some of the denim a little bit. So then I cut some hearts out of tea bags, and I think what I'll do is I'll layer them all together and put them on. I also have some other things to show you so that you can look in your sewing boxes or in your junk drawer. This is just a strip of some trim or applique. You don't have to use applique or trim if you don't want to, but if you'd like to dress something up a little bit, you can. I really like these little pieces that are kind of old and rusty. This needle threader has probably been around forever and a day, but I'd like to kind of put that on there. And some of the other things I found that might match the palette are like these pieces of lace. But let me show you what I have. So if you look in your jewelry, you can usually find some type of broken piece of jewelry or jewelry that you don't care for anymore that might look good on a project. Now this is still okay to wear, but for some reason it looks like the top of her got colored, and I don't know if it was supposed to because there's a little bow there, but I did take some acetone and try to get it off, and it lightened a little bit, but it wouldn't come off. Now this is a little vintage piece that held some screws, and I thought that would be a really cute thing to put on your project. I found a jack. If you remember ever playing jacks, I do. That's because my mom or my dad taught me. I think my dad was really good at jacks. And these are just some seashells. And this is a buckle that I found in one of my mom's sewing boxes. This down here is a little what you call tin type, and I'm not sure if I'm going to put him on here, but I may. He doesn't really have any way to attach him, so what I would do to attach him probably is just make him some corners to fit in. These things are really cute because they're fun for closures, which is exactly what they are, but they're called a frog for some reason. So they come like this, and you can put them in and use them as a closure for your journal if it's not too thick. I mean, this will bend a little bit, but not a whole lot. So there's another thing you may find. I already talked about, here's another frog. I do have the other half. I'm just not sure where it is right now. We talked about appliques. So I have some purple ones somewhere here. But here's a piece of the purple. crocheted buttons. Now, sometimes you find these if you get a bag of buttons that are still carded that people have saved. Sometimes you'll get one of these because if your button falls off your blouse, you want to be able to replace it. Here, of course, is a stick. And this is, I don't know what to call this. It was a pin at one time, but it's like something that would fit in a mold and then pop it out. And that could, you know, easily fit my palette. I just need to determine how to attach it because it doesn't have any hooks or anything on it. Here's a belt buckle. Not something I'm probably going to be using, but that would be really cute. Here's a rusty bell, which that would go in with my palette. A little tiny tag. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that because that's more modern. And of course, there's other little things like this flower that was cut off something. This piece of lace that can go on top somewhere. And then we have some more of these. Here's some kind of hooky thing. I'm not sure what it is because the hooks on it are sharp. So if you would decide to use this one in a project, just make sure you're careful if you find any of those. I'm trying to think of what they would be. They may have to do with upholstery. Here's another piece. This is just like, looks like a hammered out piece, if you can see it on the back. And then it has a purple flower here. So I think I'm going to keep it for a more purple palette. These are like probably bone. I doubt anything was ivory, just bone or even plastic, but that's a kind of a neat thing to put on and it matches, so could do that. Here's a real pretty green button. Here's like a little I don't know if this came off of an earring or a necklace, but it just has 3 little stones there. I had cut the other day a whole bunch of felt leaves because I thought maybe I'd do something like that. But I don't think I want to bring in, I mean, the green is fine, but I don't think I want to bring in the floral because I think that's going to confuse the palette. So we'll see, because sometimes you have to have, you know, a really great focal point. Another thing that you can do is you can definitely add some of these button cards with buttons already on them. They make cool things to add to your sewing. Here's a purple button and a cute little white button. Now, this is something that maybe you all can help me with too. So at first when I saw it, I thought it was a buckle because it has this on it, but this is not movable. It has a nail or something in it, but it doesn't move. This is how you can attach it. And I'm trying to think if it was maybe for a sweater, a scarf or something. I don't want to break it if it's of value, but if it's not really of value, I'm going to take this hook off and take the other hardware off the back and use this as a frame. So I'll have to check on that and my ring. And curiously, now this is definitely older than the ring, but I'm not sure what it is. So if you know what it is with the hook and with the pin, please let me know. Because if you would just wear it like this with the hook sticking out of it, it would look weird. Maybe it's for a tie a long time ago. I don't know. But that's that with that piece. Here's some more felt leaves if I want to add them maybe to the end of this little pod. And I thought this bead was kind of funky. It's not old, but it's blue and chunky. These are some pieces probably off of maybe a strap. I found them in some of my mom's things. These are glass beads. They're really pretty. I have 2 of them, so I'm saving them for a rainy day. And these, I'm trying to determine if I can restring something on these. I have to see. They are rings, so they would be easy. This is a ring, so it would be easy to attach. There's and I think that what it was originally was a clasp, because here's the hook. You see? So even if I put it on like that, that would be cool. So those are the things that I've found so far. And then I'm going to attach some of them. And then I'm going to come back and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye for now.